blended learning has really changed my classroom, and I've seen a lot of improvements. Specifically, it's changed management of my classroom, and students are more self-directed in my room. They know to walk in, grab their laptop, and they're able to read directions and really dive into the material. They're taking charge of their own learning, and that's a real advantage that I've seen with blended learning. So the learning management system I use is Brain Honey, and I found that it's extremely beneficial on the teacher end because I'm able to use a certain format, and it is self-contained, and I'm able to put all the material that I need into that format. And then for the student end, it's really user-friendly. Once they get used to the system, they know exactly where to find all the materials and how to help themselves learn. With blended learning, my students, after a daily lesson, take a quick formative assessment, such as a quick quiz. It informs them instantly if they understand the material. They get feedback and know their exact percentage. In addition, they're able to retake that quiz and really bring up their grade as they fully understand. So it allows students to work at their own pace. So I've seen several differences using the blended learning system with student learning. The first being that students are taking charge of their learning. For example, when they watch a video on a lesson, if they feel that, I didn't really fully understand that, or my quiz score wasn't what I wanted it to be, they are knowing to look at that video again and really dive into their learning and ask questions when needed. So they're aware of their understanding with the blended learning format. Before it was more teacher directed, as of me telling them when they're understanding it. This has changed where they are thinking, okay, do I understand this material? Do I need extra help? And then they have the resources to go do that. At the beginning of the year, my students completed a measurement unit, and their beginning pretest averaged in the 30 percentile. At the end of the unit, they were in the 90s. We saw a significant improvement. And it was really interactive with a lot of group collaboration. And students were able to compare and contrast metric system and customary system. They created brochures online, and they were able to argue for or against the use of the metric system in the US. It was a fantastic unit, and my students really enjoyed it and learned a lot.
Well, as far as student work, I'm finding that because we're using technology, students are a lot more engaged as far as wanting might not be the right word, but having to do the work individually. With this, I know the students at some point have to have been exposed to the material. Now, how well they expose themselves to it, how well they listen, how well they read, I feel like they're more engaged than they are in a traditional classroom listening to a lecture or reading a textbook at home. I just feel like there's more of that exposure to the content than they would normally have gotten. One of the things I really do like about this is when the students are engaged and then they're working really well. I have so much more time with kids that are struggling with material. It's pretty easy, and when students start to get behind. Sometimes it's social issues, or sometimes it's things at home, but sometimes it's just they're not quite understanding. And with the ability to put a formative assessment into this system that's so fast, and the kids do it, and it's graded, and I can see it within 24 hours, if not the same class period, and I can come back over and say, wow, I just graded your quiz. We need to go over this stuff a little bit better. And I can do stuff like that. It allows the advanced kids to move without being bored, but I really like the chance to be able to sit down at a table with 2 or 3 kids and call a group of students together and go, you guys all missed this first stage of the light reaction of photosynthesis. You've really missed something here. So let's go over this real quick. And I don't go to the whiteboard and lecture. I sit at the table with them with a piece of paper and a marker, and I lecture right there, and they're right there. I can see that they're paying attention. Not everybody needed that, and I just love that part of this whole system that allows me to take those students and work with them in a way that I know that they're engaged in what we're doing, because I can sit at this table and look at them in the face, 1, 2, or 3 at a time. I think somewhere along the line they're learning a little bit about if they really just take whatever time they need, they can be successful, and that makes me feel good when I see a kid that will go, well, this is the best grade I've ever had in science. Well, that makes me feel good because something that I'm trying to do for them has helped to some respect. And that's kind of the overall goal of this whole job somewhere, is to give a kid a little confidence in themselves and maybe stretch them to do something that they hadn't done before.